So I made sure, because you know full well, you don't get to see real Canada unless you go to the small towns and cities, right? Because people think they come and visit, don't they? They come and visit and they think that by going to Toronto... You have to do that. Once you're a fully fledged New Brunswicker, every time you say that dreaded word, you have to, but if you don't just say Toronto, you have to do that. You have to do. Sometimes the real hardcore, like Peninsula-ites, they do this, on the spit, just to really... So people think they go to Toronto, they know Canada, but they don't. So I said, whenever we're going to a place, I want to go to the small town in between. So I was playing Winnipeg last year, Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I was doing Brandon, Manitoba. And I said, I want to play somewhere small. And they said, well, we found a town in between those two, tiny town, it's called Carman, Manitoba. Has anyone been to Carman? No? Because I have a belief. You haven't really experienced true Canada until you've been to, a fire hall wedding in Norton. And I've been to one. It is hardcore. It was my wife's cousin. She was 18. It was her wedding, and all 6 of her children were bridesmaids. Ideas that I had a couple of days ago, I thought, don't say that. Sometimes you hear it before even I do, right? Things just come out, right? Things just come out. It's the way my brain works, it comes out. And then you laugh, and then I'm like, what did you just say? You said what? So I said to the promoter, I want to know, where's the Norton of Manitoba? They said Carman. I said, wonderful, let's do a show there. So I'm on stage in Carman, and by stage I obviously mean corner of the Legion. Because the career's going... And I started a routine about Tim Hortons, right? A normal thing for a new Canadian to talk about, Tim Hortons, right? And I said Tim Hortons, and they all started booing Tim Hortons. So that's a bit odd. Like, you don't boo the national dish. Right? Whatever you think of it, you don't boo Tim Hortons. This is odd. Like, because we don't. Canadians don't boo our own. We stick up for our things. If it's Canadian, we stand behind it. Obviously, the exception, Air Canada. We stick up for anything of our own. We'll stick up for anything, right? We will defend anything Canadian. We can be anywhere in the world and someone says, Air Canada, worst airline in the world, and we go, I fucking agree. So I'm all confused. I had to stop the gig. I said, sorry, why are you all booing Tim Hortons? Why are you booing Tim Hortons? And a lady, like the spokesperson for Carman, Manitoba, she puts her hand up, she says, well, actually, she said, we've been campaigning to get a Tim's here for about 30 years. I've been leading the charge personally for the last 28. I said, well, what's the problem? Why can't you have a Tim's? They're everywhere. And she said, well, they have a policy. Tim's head office have a policy in Manitoba that the threshold, the cut-off for having a Tim's in your town, a franchisee to open a Tim's, the cut-off is you have to have a population of over 3,000 people. I know. And I said, well, what's the population of Carman, Manitoba? And she said, really tearfully, she's like, we've been sitting around the 2,998 mark for about 40 years. And she said they won't budge. She said every time someone gets pregnant, they're like in the delivery room. The whole of like Carman's like outside the hospital in the parking lot. Is it twins? Is it twins? And then one time, apparently, it was twins. And they were all happy. The whole town was excited. They're all doing the conga through the town. We're gonna get a Tim's. We're gonna get a Tim's. And then suddenly someone comes running over. There's been a terrible car accident. We've lost 4. Everyone, back to the bedroom. Get packing. Back to the bedroom. If you want to roll up your rim, you better... roll up your rim. If you... wait for it. If you want to get a Boston cream... you can fill in the punchlines. Want to get a buzz, you better get Boston creamed. But I just admire and love that Canadian small-town resilience of not giving up. Because normally in life, like if we're not wanted for like a job or a person doesn't want us, like after a while you go, well, I don't want it anyway. Not Carmen, Manitoba. The fact that they kept fighting, they're still fighting to this day to get themselves a Tim Hortons, and they've maintained their dignity. Their heads are held high, and they've kept their pride. They haven't settled for a fucking Robbins. No offence, Hampton. I did get permission from the mayor of Hampton for that one. You got to, right? Small place, you got to check.